and we've got one more amazing jeweler for you today. All jewelers today. We've got Athene. Hi, Athene.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Haven't coughed yet, so that's a
That's
bonus.
good.
Always good. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. So I'm Athene from Athene Jewellery, and I live in Guernsey in Channel Islands. So I would love to say sunny Guernsey, but at the moment it's a bit drizzly and grey, just like everywhere else, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so it is.
Atmospheric Guernsey.
Yeah, atmospheric Guernsey, yeah, in the autumn. So yeah,
Yeah.
but no, it's a lovely place to live. It's really sort of brilliant for sort of inspiration. You know, we're surrounded by the coast, so the kind of changing weather patterns and things like that is what really kind of inspires a lot of my work. So it's a great place to live.
Have you always lived in Guernsey, or
No,
did you?
I'm from London. But
Mm,
my parents moved here when I was a teenager, and I've tried to get away loads of times. I've lived in lots of other places, but there's something about Guernsey; it just kind of draws you back.
yeah.
It's just a great place to be. Mm.
I've never been and desperately want to visit. You know, it's one of those places that's on the wish list because it always, yeah, it's sort of, it's like a bit of an outlier, isn't it? But it's sort of somewhere a bit secret, I feel.
Yeah, it's one of those places that not a lot of people kind of really know about. Jersey is really well known. Jersey's
Mm,
just like 20 miles away. And obviously, you know, in the Channel Islands, we kind of island hop quite a lot. So, you know, a lot of people from Jersey come here and vice versa. But most of the sort of tourists and holidaymakers tend to make a beeline for Jersey just because it's bigger and it's kind of more
okay.
well known. But
Yeah.
Guernsey's got its own identity. It's lovely. It's kind of a lot like places like Cornwall. It's kind of, you know, a slower pace of life, and they hold on to a lot of things that, you know, make the island sort of interesting, you know. So we've got our
Mm.
own currency, things like that. We still have pound notes, you know, all of that fun stuff.
Wow. Oh, interesting. Right, I'm definitely coming. Definitely coming.
Yeah, it's lovely. You're
Um,
welcome anytime.
well, I'm going to take you up on that. I'll arrive on your doorstep and go, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
do it.
right.
Do it, and I'll get you polishing jewellery.
Okay, I'm fine. I can definitely, I'll polish all day long. I'm sure I can do that. So would you like to show us a few of your items that you've got for sale at the
Yes,
market?
yes, of course. So in the market, I've got lots of kind of gift ideas and lots of Christmassy things. But one I'm wearing at the moment, so I don't know if you can see that properly. So I've got a silver cuff on here, and this one is a handmade cuff in sterling silver. It's hallmarked, and I don't know if you can see the pattern on it. It's got like a
This out
celestial
here.
design. It's kind of stars, shooting stars, and kind of moons and things like that. So that
Beautiful.
one is in my shop, and I make these to order, but they're all sized to fit the individual. But
Lovely.
you have like a little bit of play on your arm. But if
Yeah,
you know people want a particularly, you know, small size or whatever, I can make them to order. But I've got a couple in stock ready to go, so they can
beautiful.
still be done in time for Christmas as well, as long as I can get them to the assay office and back. So you've got a
Okay.
couple of weeks yet to order those.
Yeah, it's getting tight, isn't it? People need to order soon for Christmas.
Yeah, and especially with silver jewellery, because I
Mhm.
hallmark most of my silver jewellery. So even
Yeah.
the pieces that are underweight, I generally like to hallmark because
Okay.
it's like a signature, you know, for
Yeah.
the jeweler, and it's kind of, you know, nice to have that. But obviously, being on an island, I have to post them to the mainland to be hallmarked. So
Right.
they go to the London assay office. So you just have to allow for that time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
brilliant. And
thank God
how
for.
much would be a cuff, that cuff, or how much are your cuffs?
This one is £165.
Yeah.
So they start from about 140 and they go up to about £200. It depends on the weight of the silver, but this one's quite chunky. I don't know off the top of my head how many grams it is, but it's a nice sort of chunky, solid
That's
piece of
so
silver.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
that would make a very special present.
Exactly, yeah. And it's one of those things, you know, you can, I mean, they just never go out of
No.
fashion, really. You know, I mean, they're like 1 minute they're flavour of the month and then next not so much. But it's just one of those
Mhm.
perennial things that is really good
Yeah.
to have in your collection. Yeah.
And I think it's also the sort of gift that you would hand down, isn't it, through generations? I can imagine giving that to my daughter, you know, and then sort of it would just keep giving love to people, and
Yeah,
keep
for
enjoying
sure.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And pieces like that, if they're made from silver or they're made from gold, they're really worth hanging on to. So
Mm,
they're not the sort of thing that will just come and go. It's not a sort of cheap bit that you'll buy and only wear for a couple of years. You just make the decision to invest in it and keep it forever. So that's a
yeah,
lovely,
exactly.
it's a lovely thing to have. Mm.
Looks beautiful. Beautiful, definitely on my wish list. And what else have you got? Have you got something else you
Okay.
can
So
share with us?
at the other end of my spectrum in terms of price points, I also do work from recycled materials. So these ones, they start at £12, but this particular pair is 22 because they've got freshwater pearls on them. But
Okay.
these are actually part of my plectrum range. So
Oh,
they're guitar
yes. Mm.
plectrums, but these are actually made from recycled store cards. So on the back
Oh,
there, I don't know if you can
brilliant.
see that, they've got like the
Yes.
barcode. So
Yeah.
these, I'm not going to say the brand because I'm probably not allowed to do that. But these are, I mean, they would otherwise go into the waste. So
Yeah.
I can't throw anything away. The same as Amanda. I keep all those little bits off of dresses as well and
Brilliant.
use them for all sorts of things. But so these are made of recycled store cards, and they're just a bit of fun, like nice sort of stocking filler
Yeah.
devices. So I've got a huge range of those on my shop. I make them out of all sorts of recycled materials, and I can also make them out of people's own cards. So
Oh,
quite
that's a
often
good idea.
I make them out of like old driver's licenses and
Yeah.
bank cards and things like that. So yeah, I love chopping things up and recycling them.
That's such a good idea. So people could send you something and you could make a pair of
Yes,
earrings from that.
yeah.
It's
So I get all
brilliant.
sorts of things like that in the post. People send me just random bits of old plastic or whatever, and I
Yeah.
can cut them up. Yeah.
But it's something that we can really do as makers, isn't it? Is kind of elevate trash into something beautiful and something that you can treasure. I think that's such a good thing that you can do for the environment.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always collected things like that. So as a child, I collected things. I'm, proper Blue Peter generation. I mean, they always sprung on you that you'd need a toilet roll. So I'd always have, I'd
Yeah,
squirrel them away. I wouldn't let my mum chuck away anything like that. So I've just got a bit of a reputation as being a hoarder, and I keep bits of fabric. I keep bits of perspex because I think if you're a certain type of maker, you see the value in all of those materials. So
yeah,
someone else goes to throw something in the rubbish, and you think, well, no, that's a piece
yeah,
of perspex. You can do all sorts of things with it. So it's
yeah.
great to have that mentality, but it does take over sometimes. So you should see the
Yes.
boxes full of stuff that I've got around the house that my family despair of.
But one day it will all turn into something beautiful, won't it?
Yeah, it does, and sometimes I keep things for years. Like I'll have something that I've literally had in a box for like 10 or 15 years, and then a customer will come in and say, "Oh, I fancy such and such a color," and I'm like, I've just got the perfect thing. So
Mm.
yeah, it
Oh,
works
brilliant.
well.
So good. And I think I'm just looking at the clock. I think we've got time for
Mm.
one more product.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if I can do this without dropping them. So this is a pair of my waterfall earrings. So this is one of my kind of most popular styles.
Beautiful.
It's similar to the ones that I've got on. It's got that sort of waterfall look. So when you move, they've got a nice sort of movement to them. And these ones are freshwater pearls. These are dyed freshwater coin pearls.
I see. Okay.
Um, so again, I similar to the others. I do a lot of jewellery with birthstones, personalised jewellery, so
Mhm.
I can kind of tailor them to your birthstone. So we keep all the birthstones in stock. But these ones are pearls, so these are particularly good for June babies. But
Okay.
also, everybody wears pearls, so they're kind of a really nice sort of crowd pleaser. But they're quite
Yeah.
dressy earrings, but they're not heavy at all because they're on a kind of made on a chain. They've got that lightweight sort of structure to them, but they actually look
Mm.
quite, kind of disco earrings. But I wear mine
Yeah,
all the time.
disco
I
earrings.
just, I
And
just
I
wear
think they look like they
them.
would hang really beautiful and move as you moved, as you're doing
Yeah,
gaffs.
yeah, they're a really nice length. They're not quite as long as the ones I've got on, but they're a really nice kind of length for dressing up. So yeah, they're one of
Yeah,
our best
beautiful.
sellers. So,
Love those,
and they
love
go with
those.
what I'm wearing.
Yeah, yeah. And like we were saying, it's good to think about Christmas and New Year. If people are going out, that would do both, wouldn't it? And then you can just wear them again.
Exactly. Yeah, well, Christmas shopping isn't just about the gifts either, is it? You
Mm,
know, it's about, your nights out, treating yourself, like you say,
mm,
you want to look fabulous on Christmas Eve if you're going to the pub or if you're going to a
yeah,
party, and you want to look great for New Year's Eve as well and beyond, obviously. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's not
I think
just
it's
about
that Christmas thing, isn't it? Where I'm always looking out for presents for other people, but end up going, but I would really appreciate that probably more than they would, you
yeah,
know,
well,
for
that's
me
the
instead.
Christmas rule. Yeah, a general rule is one for me, one for them,
Yeah,
and you just kind of do that with all
good
your
rule.
present shopping. You can't go
I
far
think
wrong.
it's a really good rule. Yeah. That's brilliant. I wish could actually come and visit in person. That would be so nice to come and see your
One
mum.
day.
One day we'll do it.